And now, ladies and gentlemen, 10 rounds of boxing scheduled for the vacant WBO Middleweight Championship of the World. Introducing first, fighting out of the red corner, standing with her head trainer, Noel Callan. She wears the black, gold, and tartan. She scaled 11 stone, 4 pounds, 4 ounces. Her professional record, 9 victories, 4 defeats. She has 2 wins coming by way of knockout. She's the former IBO World and WBC Silver Champion, fighting out of Glasgow, Scotland. Introducing Hannah Rankin. And her opponent across the ring, fighting out of the blue corner. She stands with her head trainer, Peter Fury. She wears the blue trunks and scaled at 11 stone, 5 pounds, 4 ounces. Her professional record, a perfect one. 8 fights, 8 victories, 6 of them coming by way of knockout. Here is the undefeated 2-time Olympian, fighting out of Hartlepool, England. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing Savannah, the silent assassin, Marshall.
It might be for the WBO middleweight title. It's also England v Scotland. And if you don't know what that means, think Yankees, Red Sox. You're in one camp or you're in another.
Second out.
Savannah Marshall then in the blue. The very, very impressive amateur, former world champion, boxed twice at the Olympics, going up against Hannah Rankin, who has an extraordinary backstory herself. She went to London to study at the Royal Academy of Music and is an accomplished professional bassoon player. While she was in London, she met up with Derek Williams, the former European heavyweight champion. Did some sparring, loved it, took up white-collar boxing and realised that she had some talent for it. And here she is, boxing for a major world title against Savannah Marshall. And as I say, coming in as this huge underdog, she's also carrying a bit of a grudge and is highly, highly motivated for this one. And also significantly, she has boxed at a much higher level as a professional Savannah Marshall ever did. Those fights in America against Alicia Napoleon and Claressa Shields will have given her a really good grounding for this fight.
A couple of glimpses early here from what Rankin wants to do in this fight. You can see she's got a herky-jerky style, a lot of head movement. And she's going to look to jab, 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 and try to land an overhand right on the chin of Marshall, who's predominantly stands an upright, kind of leant back, languid kind of a stance.
Rather telegraphed that double jab there, though, Rankin. He's out of range again there.
Don't hold. Break! No, pick up the bat. Box on.
Didn't get much change out of Claressa Shields when they boxed. I don't think she won a round on any of the cards, but it was a huge experience for her. So, as I say, for all sorts of reasons, Claressa's rooting for her now. Rankin at the moment, though, looking pretty comfortable through that first round, and Rankin really struggling with the range early there.
No one landed anything really significant in that round, but you might give it to Rankin on effort alone.
Well, if rounds are won on effort, this man's won a lot of rounds over his career. Derek Chisora, can he pull off what some people are saying would be one of the great British boxing shocks of all time, if he can end the perfect professional record of Alexander Usyk? They say out of his camp he has never trained harder and has never been in better shape.
Face to the earth, go down to the body. Yeah. Nice on the side, find the range with the jab. Let's get it home for this.
It's Peter Fury in the corner there, uncle of Tyson Fury.
Second out. Round 2.
Heels fighters often fight with this style of where they're very side on. They usually keep their lead hand low and they stay very narrow in their stance, which makes them very good defensively, but offensively, it's very hard to be effective from that stance.
Well, at the moment, that stance is causing Hannah Rankin all kinds of problems. Early days, but Rankin has not got her range sorted out at all at the moment.
But nothing too much or too impressive coming from Marshall yet. She's evading a lot of things, but not really landing anything herself. The odd jab here and there. That was a good right hand.
Yeah, and that was a nice little body attack as well. And then got herself away. Rankin is a fighter that loves to come forward if she can. I saw her win a world title in Glasgow against French Sarah Curran that was, and Curran, I thought, boxed very clever that night and made Rankin miss a lot. Rankin still got it on the cards narrowly. But she will always keep coming. She never got discouraged that night, Rankin, despite the fact she was missing an awful lot. She's missing early a lot here as well. Well, if she can get this jab going here, Marshall, she can make this a very difficult night for Rankin, who's just missed again with the lead left.
Yeah, Marshall just jabbing well from a low-handed position and trying to draw Rankin onto her right hand and looking for the right overcut a lot too.
Well, the Rankin camp, Noel Callan and Gary Jacobs, well, I'm sure have worked with Hannah on her defensive side of things, because Marshall has proved to be a very, very impressive puncher in her professional career. Once she gets you measured up, and she's a naturally bigger woman anyway, and you think about rehydration after the weigh-in as well, and that's something Rankin is going to have to be really watchful about. Just rolled away as that right hand came in, took some of the sting out of it. And got blocked there and short there, and that's going to happen a lot for Rankin tonight.
Okay. Just get that hair on, yeah.
So a few more things here. Start looking in the combinations now. Nice and light still. Yeah. Looking for a home downstairs. Put her up. Yeah. That's just picking up a little bit. Moving over to the right, creating your angles, putting your jabs in, combinations, yeah? Not loading up, no power, just relax.
Corners, 10 seconds.
I just amplified what you were saying from Peter Fury there, yeah. Don't load up, don't go for the power. Round 3. Up for grabs the vacant WBO middleweight title, which Claressa Shields won in April 2019, dethroning the only woman that ever held it, Christina Hammer, the veteran German.
Good uppercut from Marshall there.
And again, catching Rankin, just trying to step in and loading up.
And starting to throw a good left hook as Rankin comes in as well, Marshall.
And again, doubled it up there. Now, this is where Rankin can work. I get the feeling Rankin could be very, very strong as an inside fighter, but she's just struggling to get inside at the moment. Marshall then missing badly as well. This is where if you can just step in and get in close here, Rankin, she could have some success. Got those lovely long levers, Hannah Marshall, and if she's got the space to deliver those as she did that left to the body there, she can be very, very effective. Very fast hands, very accurate. And again, Rankin committing and getting just clipped with the right hand there as she came in. That's a bit better from Rankin, but again, Marshall closes the door on her pretty quickly here, and then again, quality, nice left hook to the body, a little clipping right uppercut as well.
That right hand that Rankin landed more annoyed Marshall than hurt, and it kind of forced her to throw some punches of herself for her own to get it back.
Yeah, that's nice. That is how she goes to work very often. She's certainly not a single punch thrower, Savannah Marshall. She's a combination puncher, and you saw that she missed in the first one, got the second one. George Kambosos Jr. from Australia. Boy, if you want a brash, confident guy, this is the Aussie prototype. He's all talk, and Lee Selby will need to be at his very, very best against him. Selby, who's the polar opposite of Kambosos in terms of his temperament. Can't get a word out of him. He's due up next. So many people, certainly in the Kambosos camp, are saying Selby is near the end of the line. Selby would love to put him in his place and win that IBF Eliminator.
Second out, round 4.
That one coming up once this one's done. Hannah Rankin in the blue, or in the black and gold, up against Savannah Marshall. Always felt a little bit sorry for Savannah Marshall at the 2012 Olympics game in London, and I think there was such expectation on her. They didn't think she'd medal. They thought she'd get gold, and she lost her first fight, and I'm sure the occasion got to her. But even then, the second time around, she missed out again there. I'm sure it bothers her, because everybody wants an Olympic medal. She's managed to shrug that off, learn from that, and starting to turn into a really good-looking pro, and starting to really rough up Hannah Rankin here, who's marked around the left eye and is soaking up some body punishment as well. And Marshall, you mentioned this earlier in the last round, Andy, that Marshall looks like she's really now just finding some rhythm, finishing off another lovely combination with a right hook.
Yeah, she's starting to show some real intent now.
Oh,
bad
that's
intentions.
nice inside shot, and Rankin's getting beaten up in this fourth round. Well, she's got to find something a bit different here. This has not been a good round for the Glasgow woman. Again, couldn't capitalise. How many times has she fallen short tonight? Just cannot get the distance right at all here. Rankin.
That's again. Put your hands free, left hand in, drop your down. Break! One step. Box up.
Such a
Good left hook from Rankin there.
well,
From Marshall, excuse me.
Yeah, I was going to say, absolutely beautiful, wasn't it? Rankin is so tough and tenacious that she'll keep on plugging away, despite the limited success she's having as we get down to the last few seconds then of this 10th round. Really clipping right hand there as well, and then the body work, and Marshall has really opened it up here in this fourth round and has bossed it completely.
Very impressive stuff from Marshall there, and this is going to be, the remainder of this fight's going to be tough again, going to get tougher and tougher and tougher for Rankin. She is missing with her own shots. Rankin's able to nullify her attacks, and that's demoralizing in itself and exhausting in itself. But then when you're taking these type of punches, it doesn't bode too well for you.
I mean, that was a chasm of class between them in that round.
Lovely check hook there from Rankin, just pulling out with it.
A little bit more. When you're on the back foot, it comes in. I want you doing this, look, side to side, then hook, step over, like we've been working on, yeah? Right? Body shots are working. And put your light upstairs, go down, yeah? Put your up, go down. And get working on the right hand, yeah? Stepping in. Nice and relaxed.
10 seconds. Second out, round 5.
Well, we were listening to Peter Fury. I think the corner that needed to change the game plan significantly was Noel Callan in the Hannah Rankin corner, because his boxer can't have another round like that, surely.
But there's really no way, nothing else they can really do, because she's not effective at closing the range or getting close. She simply doesn't have the tools to compete with Marshall. She's outmatched and outclassed here. But she's not outclassed in terms of determination.
Oh yeah. Well, she showed plenty of that against Napoleon. He's a big super middle who's only just lost her world title, and of course against Shields. I mean, she never got a shot in against Shields, but never gave up. There was no quit in her at all, and there's not going to be any quit in her here either. guarantee that. Lovely body work, and then followed upstairs with the left hook as well. This is real class and quality coming from Hannah Marshall now. A little telling off from Phil Edwards. One around the back of the head, and again loading up, but so many fresh air shots from Rankin. And she's committed.
Big right hand.
Yeah, committed, missed badly with that right hand and has paid for it. Still mixing it up so well. Head to body and back again from Marshall, who's just moving so well. Looks like she's just going through the gears here.
Come back with the left hook. Turn with her move. Lovely, Savannah, that's it. Right way there, hand. There we go.
And a nice finish as well. Last few seconds then, it's been another very, very effortless looking round from Marshall. This is the thing, it doesn't look like it's taking anything out of her at all.
She's just easing through the gears. Maybe the corner of Rankin, she's start having to think about their fight, thinking about this fight as well, Phil, because although she's in the fight, she's competing, she's throwing back punches and landing the odd occasional punch, she's taking way too much.
Here's a guy that'll always come forward. We saw Lee Selby earlier. This is the young Aussie that thinks he's going to be moving on tonight. Long-time Manny Pacquiao sparring partner, George Kambosos Jr.
Put the odd hard shot in, yeah?
Says it's his night.
Don't keep looking for the big shot, yeah? Listen to me, yeah? Touch up nice and light. She's missing everything anyway, yeah? So relax, pace that right hand and let it go straight down the middle, yeah? So touch her up, work on your nice solid jabs, yeah? And let the shots go in combinations, yeah?
Corners, 10 seconds.
Well, she's been letting the combinations go
Second out.
very effectively.
Round 6.
The second half of this 10-rounder starts here. And something has to change for Hannah Rankin. All the heart and that fighting spirit that she's got is not winning her this fight. And as you say, Noel Callan and Gary Jacobs in the corner, what can they do? There's an old saying in boxing, and it's just a one-word saying, isn't it? Levels. That's what we're looking at here. This is different levels. Absolutely languid and effortless combination again from Rankin.
Then go again,
There's certainly no way at all that Rankin can win this on the back foot, and Marshall is just able to just push her back pretty much at will here. Still game and gutsy, Rankin, but this is starting to look like a mismatch, and Marshall is really starting to pour it on here.
And good corner work from Peter Fury there, because if you're loading up and looking for the big shot, it never comes. And when it does land, it never has the effect you want. It's the punch you throw with no expectation that has, a lot of time, will knock your opponent down.
And I guess when you've got such a good natural combination puncher like Hannah Rankin, that is it. That is it. Like Savannah Marshall, you don't load up. You don't need to. You know, this is not just one punch out of 3 that are landing from Marshall. They're all landing. It's going to take an awful lot of stuffing out of Hannah Rankin. And I tell you what, a lesser fighter would have hit the floor already. As if the first 3 rounds were measuring rounds for Hannah Rankin, the last 3 have just been brutal and one-sided.
And it's the body shots as well from Marshall that are really, really punching. Look, something you can say about all 3 female fights that we saw tonight. I've known men who checked out of fights and haven't taken half the punishment that these women have. Really classy stuff from Marshall. She's got an unusual style. She's quite languid. She's relaxed. And she throws shots from awkward angles.
Down the pipe, yeah? The jab to the body upstairs, jab to the body working well.
Gary Jacobs, part of the Hannah Rankin team, the old European welterweight champion.
A few things. Because you can do what you want there. This girl softened up, yeah?
That's here, Peter Fury.
The jab's nice as well. You
Look like a genius here.
Lovely jab there.
Hannah Rankin's making him look like one.
10 seconds.
Well, you had a couple of good trainers in your time, didn't you? But there's only so much a trainer can do. It is down to the boxer and their ability. And Savannah Marshall has so much ability. It's been a joy to work with.
There you go, when you're there. Turn and fight. Make a miss, turn and fight. There we go.
Well, if she can just stay in the pocket here, Rankin, maybe she can land, maybe she can
See that head movement, there you go.
slow Marshall up, just catch her with something that she's not expecting. Oh, what a wonderful body shot to end that combination.
And again, huh?
Just stepped away, out of range.
Nice. Then when
Marshall
you're
was
there,
gone, and then another one of those hooks to the body. My goodness me, she is in some condition here, Hannah Rankin. She's soaked up a lot of body shots.
And this is mentally draining because Marshall's not letting up. Marshall's not letting up. As soon as Rankin attacks, she drifts out of distance, but then it comes right back onto her. Look at this.
Oh, my goodness me, that uppercut hurt. She's on the point of going here. There might be a decision for Phil Edwards to make here because Rankin is brave and tough and will not quit, but she is just getting broken up.
I wonder what the referee's waiting for.
Yeah.
He should be stepping in here.
Oh, she's got nothing left here. Late in round 7, Savannah Marshall has been systematic and brutal. Rankin's heart is keeping her up, but that's all that's keeping her up. It is a battering. It is so one-sided, and even if the referee doesn't step in, Noel Callan in the Rankin corner surely has got a decision to make here. She takes a knee in the last few seconds. She's got absolutely nothing left.
She shouldn't have to do that. That referee should be stepping in there to saving her from this punishment.
And if he doesn't, the referee, there he has. Good.
She should never have had to take a knee.
That was brutal. It was ruthless.
Yeah, world champions.
Yeah, there you go. She doesn't say a lot, Savannah Marshall. She is very, very quiet and shy, but my goodness me, the old story about letting your fist do the talking, they spoke volumes tonight. Savannah Marshall, world middleweight champion. And it was never in doubt.
Couldn't do that. The best light middle, the best middle on the planet, mate. By far.
Peter Fury throwing the gauntlet down to Claressa Shields. You know there's going to be an answer to that on social media. It's probably up there already. That fight is going to happen. It has to. That was some performance. That really was.
Fantastic. I'm a little bit angry at the referee and the corner of Rankin there. There was no need for her to take that type of punishment and for her to have to effectively quit by taking a knee. She should have been saved from that. But Marshall, fantastic performance. Great performance with Peter Fury in the corner. Guided her through it, round by round, clear, concise instructions. But Marshall, she showed me something else in this fight, that she has that kind of nastiness, a little bit of spite, to go and do that to Rankin. She didn't let up. She didn't let up mentally, physically. She drained her, nullified her up close, and then was clinical and then came to the attack and the finish.
It really was. I was like you. I think we said it, didn't we? You know, somebody's got a decision to make here because there's no quit in Hannah Rankin. And Phil Edwards at least.
The referee's looking,
yeah,
but he's far too disengaged.
Tough decision for a referee. And I'm going to stand up for Phil Edwards here. This is a world title fight. You've got to give him every chance. But I'm glad when she did go down.
It's not like Rankin was ever in the fight.
No.
She hadn't won a round.
But at least he didn't let it go on afterwards. He could have said, "Okay, well, we're near the end of the round." You know, there was no sense in this going on any further. I mean, it was in the end, it was painful to watch, wasn't it? It was so brutal.
It was, and now he should be stepping in. She shouldn't have to have her spirit broken like that. But look, she's a 3-time world championship challenger, a world champion in her own right, and a tough competitor. But just tonight she was outmatched and outclassed.
Just outclassed, as
by a
simple as
superior
that.
boxer.
Yeah, yeah. And there's no disgrace in that. And there should be no shame in that. Savannah Marshall really did look good. My goodness me. That was a performance.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Phil Edwards calls a halt to this contest. The official time of the stoppage, 1 minute and 59 seconds of round number 7. Your winner by RSC and the new WBO middleweight champion of the world, Savannah, the Silent Assassin Marshall.
Well, that's the performance of the night so far. It really is. Savannah Marshall, and I'll tell you something else. She's done what Claressa Shields never threatened to do when Shields faced Hannah Rankin a couple of years ago. Claressa won every round on every card, and Hannah Rankin was never in it, but I don't recall Rankin being in any kind of trouble like that. I mean, this was so one-way traffic. I mean, she's not only won the title, she's not only put Hannah Rankin in her place, but she has, in her own way, Savannah Marshall, thrown a gauntlet down at Claressa Shields tonight, hasn't she? Said, hey, you didn't do this, look what I did.
But trust me, there will be a response.
Oh, yeah.
That's what Peter Fury was shouting after the fight. Claressa Shields couldn't do that. And it sets up like a great fight. A fight people want to see. A fight both fighters seem to want as well.
Oh,